I'm up. You guys are up and we're here. So, social currency, being socially valuable, why is it so important, and why have we literally... why have we got something that's hard copy and bound and really exciting for us? So this is going to be sort of half an hour with a brilliant panel who I'll introduce. We've got Dave from SharkNinja. We've got... Thank you, Dave. Dave will sign copies later alongside me. We've got Shay, who is our VP of Social Global, because that's very important. And the reason why Shay's up here as well, because she formerly looked after the communities for Wrangler. And then I've got Dana, who I'm assuming you've got lots of colleagues in the crowd. Woo! And then Dana, as you know, strategy for initiative. So thank you so much for being here. So let me just talk about why being socially valuable is so important, and then why I've got you up here to basically debate this and qualify this. So never before have we been in such a fragmented, crazy world with so much content and so many ways to meet people. Brands can't do what they used to do, is look through that telescope and you'd be like, right, I've got an insight, I've got a campaign, I'm going to reach lots of people. It's a kaleidoscope out there. It's crazy. And when we're in a state of affairs right now, when a teenager can get more views and more likes from something on TikTok, from content on TikTok, than a TV campaign. And equally, a keyboard warrior can take a brand down on Reddit. So what do we do? How do we survive this? We truly believe that brands need to earn their place. So it's earn your place in society, in real life and online, which is controversial from a social media agency. But it's like, know why you show up, know how you show up, and build those relationships. So what I wanted to do was really kick off with some key questions. So we always believe that, particularly if you're going to do a panel, I've asked everyone to be controversial, so please be controversial. No one wants to sit here with everyone just being polite to each other. But equally, I want everyone to walk out of here really understanding why it's important to know and earn your place, and why it's important to show up and really have value and be able to measure it, which is something that we can do. So I'll do a plug for the book at the end and the methodology and the report that people can buy. We're also going to give a couple away. So if anyone wants one, just send us an email and we'll do a sort of a bit of a pick out of a hat so that you can have a social currency report. So let's kick off. Right, let's go. So I'm going to kick off with the loyalty is dead question that we started with the prep. So there's a stat that I find fascinating as somebody that grew up in not dating myself now, but in the early noughties, where brand was everything. Like, brand really was. Now, there's been a poll, and it's been done sort of a few years running, where it's 73% of consumers say that if a brand disappears, they really don't care. So is loyalty dead, and is building those bonds and investing in community the way to make yourself relevant and survive? Dave, over to you.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Dave.
Show this again.
We will give you your money later.
I would say loyalty has evolved. I don't think it's dead, but I think the idea of consumers gravitating towards specific brands or products are really based on the purpose and the value it serves to them. I don't know if they're looking necessarily, and it depends on the generational gap, right? But I don't know if the younger generations are looking at the big master brand as I strive to be aligned with this brand versus the product that serves them. But I think loyalty is built in a very different way, certainly from communities, social environments. That is what we used to have friend circles, that is now your social circle in your community. So I think it's just a rethink on how you build loyalty in these new environments.
Yeah, interesting.
I think it's also interesting how you can nurture a social community to build that loyalty. One of our clients is, can I say them?
Absolutely.
Great. Dr. Pepper, lots of fans, huge fandom, and the amount of content that people share on social about that brand and about their love is immense. It keeps my team very busy. And they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't feel a sense of loyalty. And so it's our job to continue to nurture that, make sure they feel seen, heard, recognized, keep feeling it, because that will help them continue to make that purchase.
Dana.
Welcome to the connected space. Let's hear it for Amazon. Okay. Happy to be here. The loyalty for especially younger consumers, I think it's a 24/7, 365 job. Like if you drop the ball as a brand, they're really critical of brands in that space. So I just think it's still going to be important to gain that trust moving forward.
Cool. So we were talking about, I couldn't talk about community without thinking about that, how you get that authenticity, but also what the hack's in, and is it a hack? So again, talking about that, I think at the moment we're very short-term thinking, which is where that's coming from, and we're fueling that sort of like fast-paced. We're literally consuming like junk food. It's like content, fast-paced, 24/7, trying to manage it. Let's get more and more and more and more. So are there hacks into those communities that are more valuable to you? Creator comes up, influencer comes up. I mean, Dave, I know you talked about it a lot when we met. Is that a genuine hack in, and do you get that value back?
Yeah, for us, I mean, who knows what SharkNinja is? Raise your hand. Oh, okay, good. Sometimes people don't know. We're social first, so everything we do starts in the social ecosystem, and we go from an organic perspective first. And that's really kind of native into our brand identity and how we are product marketers first. A lot of what we do is work with our influencer community and our social communities to ask them what they need. What solution do they need to solve an everyday problem? And we start there. We look at consumer insights. They tell us if you're in social and you're very open, people will tell you anything. And we listen, and we use that to help develop products, to evolve products, to bring new innovation to market. And for us, it's kind of it's the groundswell that we use to help drive our business. So it definitely is a hack end. One fun example is we have a creamy or slushy. If you guys are familiar, I'm sure most of you have the slushy. You guys look like the type. But the creamy, there was a whole organic user-generated content conversation around protein shakes. And it started with this guy blending chicken and making chicken smoothies, and it became this big thing. And for us, it was never a targeting aspect or any kind of sector we were looking at, but we listened to the consumers, and we saw more people trying new flavors, new recipes, and we're like, this is something that they created, but let's maximize it and let's give them a voice and a platform. And that's how we hack in, and we listen to them. And if they're creating content with our products, we want to harness that and even bring them into our ecosystem and do it at scale.
Very similar to that at Wrangler Jeans, we saw so much content, so much love for our brand coming very authentically from influencers, creators of all different scales and sizes. And the amount of pants that were sent by my team over the course of 4 years was immense, because it's pretty easy to throw a pair of jeans at somebody and get them to honestly love them and talk about them without a whole lot of effort on our part. So product seeding was a really key piece of our overall strategy, but I think the biggest thing is listen to the comment section, because that's where some of your most authentic lovers of your brand are already living. And the more that you can harness that and kind of hack, as you said, Lynn, take advantage of the reach that they have and continue to build that love with them, because it will pay back immensely. It definitely was a key to driving some of our key styles, not only through big launches and collaborations, but even some of our staples, and getting people to look at what is you probably thought of as like a cowboy jean brand in a very different young way, where we were able to play in a much more fashion forward space based on who was already wearing us and loving us.
Yeah, as long as it's creator first, like within the feed first, I think that's the best part about social, when you're planning for that instead of like throwing your spot and hoping it works within the social feed. We hate to see that. But just seeing how powerful creators can be, and how they've had their own empires now and their own reach in that way, more than TV. It's crazy. I mean, the value is really there.
We were talking about Alex Earl earlier, fan of SharkNinja. And I mean, to your point, the line that is now so blurred between like traditional celebrity and creator, I mean, does it even exist when the creators and the influencers have more influence than the traditional kind of celebrity space?
I mean, it's interesting talking about the comment section. And I know, Dave, when we first met and I said brand safety, you went boring. And he's joking very quickly because we come from a brand safe space, first of all. And I sort of said, no, Dave, because when you're safe, you can do really brave things because you know you've got this. So just coming into those sort of fears, as I said, you survive right now, or you thrive or die. That's how it really is on social. It's very cutthroat. So what are you doing? Like, what are your fears? What are you doing to like make sure that you're managing that positive community connection that we really strive for? I mean, let's go Dana. Let's go like Dana in the house first.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
So we're just saying around, and actually maybe currently in your role, it might not be something that you're thinking about, which is quite interesting. But we really believe that authenticity and letting those conversations happening and turning that negativity into positivity. So it's the wild, wild west. You've got people that professionally come, like show up, is their outlet to sort of try and be controversial, try and sort of like stoke the fire of that community. Like, is that something that you worry about? Is that something you mitigate against?
Definitely. I mean, we had this huge campaign with Nike and Jordan last year at the Olympics where we did this huge Twitch stream, and something that we took from that campaign was the comments that were in the Twitch stream live. Like, what were the fans saying? What did they want from the brand? Were we being too loud? It was a live stream of a basketball tournament. Did they want to see more basketball? Did they want to see more of Spike Lee? And it really like garnered a lot of traction in the next year for our planning cycle, because we got to see exactly what our hyper basketball streetwear fans really wanted. So it was really just a measurable impact in what they were talking about. We could see it live.
I feel like anybody who's on social in the year of our Lord 2025, almost 2026, knows that the best stuff is in the comment section. Like, that's where you go. You don't just look at the content. That is what also is driving so much of culture now. It certainly can be risky for brands too, but it's also what's creating a lot of really amazing content that comes out of the comment section. And I know we talked a little bit yesterday about social listening, which blah, 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 boring, but not boring because it's literally the world's biggest focus group, always on, all the time. And I wish that when I was at Wrangler, I could have harnessed more of that because, for traditional consumer insights, they're taking months to turn around the research that they're doing from a panel or a survey, and also who's responding to a survey in 2025. So there's so much to glean from that, and you have your fingers on it so much faster. The ability to pull those insights out and know what consumers really think about your brand, your product, your latest campaign. I think it's more valuable than a lot of the more traditional ways of doing things. And it all starts in the comment section.
Turn comments off. Delete. No, I'm kidding. I was trying to say something different than them.
I know that's the problem when you have social first people up here with you. It's like we should have got
comments. We don't want numbers.
Some tension.
Very similar. We value our social community. It drives our business. It fuels our business. Like I said, we create products based on comments. We will alter products based on comments. We'll create new colors of products based on what people want because we have that power. We move so fast. We optimize campaigns daily. We create content and put it into market daily for most products. So we're an engine and we move fast and we respond to what everyone's saying. And I think that's the difference in how we operate than a lot of the brands is we don't just set things 3 months ahead. We look at things in real time and make decisions, not just from a marketing perspective, but from a product innovation perspective. We'll slow production, we'll ramp production, we'll extend into global markets based on what people want and what they're asking for. And we have created a lot of our products through the social ecosystem. And we'll sit with our product development teams and they'll ask, what are we hearing from consumers? What do they want? What should we create? And so it's kind of a nice marriage of it, and it all comes from the comments.
So true.
Don't turn comments off.
In terms of, and do you feel like we talked about the world's largest focus group, we've talked about how important that data is. There is a bit of a spoiler at the end that we've achieved something we're really proud of, but how do you find that you're measuring that? How do you find you're really playing that back to the business? I mean, I imagine, as you said, you're in real time, you're testing and learning, but are you really managing to measure that value back into business growth and brands?
Yeah, in a number of ways, but ultimately are we selling products? and we look at that weekly. What is the momentum? What's the progress from all of our different retail partners? And if something's not working or it is working, we amplify it through new content that either resembles what was working or new content that is completely different than what wasn't working. And so that's really our measure. I mean, we sell products like everyone in here, I imagine, and we know our community wants our products. So it's a matter of making sure we're telling the right stories, the right reasons to believe, so they consider us over all of our competitors.
I'd say you're in quite a privileged situation being a social first business and brand. It's not what we see with the brands that we meet, that they can get that investment and be on board even with organic. I think there's that huge thing. I'm going to go to you, Dana, around the challenges there.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, on that point, that we've ran into this problem with Nike before, where you post the 60-second spot to Instagram, or you don't, and you have a creator campaign. Guess what? The shoes still sell. So it's hard to measure like what's really working, but I think you're playing that long game, and you want your brand not to come off in that more corporate way to a younger audience, and you want to still build in that like cool and authentic factor that these people grew up with when they're watching Jordan slam these dunks. And I just think that if they play that long game, they'll find more success with generations to come. We'll have more purchasing power, but yeah, it is a challenge of balancing it, because their product still is flying off the shelves. So.
We've actually sold products without putting any paid investment behind it. So we've sent them to influencers, and our model really is send our products to influencers, have them test it, try it. We don't force them to promote it. We ask if they're interested and if it appeals to their interest and values and all of that. And then they'll post stuff, and then users and their fans will post their own content. And we've gone out of stock of a number of products without putting any paid investment, any paid media investment behind amplifying it, because we're building it for them, right? So it's a very different model we have than this long, more legacy brand DNA that you're trying to build from.
It's quite interesting, because it's quite dangerous to sort of say, we did that without any paid investment, because actually I feel like as an industry there's an opportunity to change terminology, like the above the line, the through the line, the up and the down, but the paid and non-paid. Because the truth is, to do organic really well, it takes a village, and you pay for that village. So I think that's quite, and like when I was sitting here thinking, because I think that's where we struggle when we're really trying to endorse that organic approach to community and letting it roll. But actually that takes more people. I know, Shay, you were saying like, you're so relieved not to be that person that's like, it's socials 24/7. It was a real thing for you, wasn't it? It's like, what's going to happen when I'm sleeping and eating? And
well, I mean, anybody who worked in social in 2020 experienced some of the lowest lows that can exist for themselves, personally and professionally. Yeah, I mean, it can be a really scary place where one comment, one piece of content that you don't think is going to go one way takes another turn. And it really does have business risk. The number of times that, I mean, anybody who's been in social for a long time probably knows their corporate communications team pretty well, for better or for worse. And, it was definitely I don't feel like I can be around the clock keeping an eye on this. I need a partner. So not to plug Social Element, but
yeah, but she was
I
our
was
client.
a client, and then I slid into their DMs and said, "Would you hire me?" And here I am.
That's right, Dave's joining soon. He doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Are you ready to slide into our DMs?
But it really did give me peace of mind. And to your point about brand safety earlier, I mean, it's not the sexy thing to talk about, but it does have, I mean, let's talk about Bud Light, a couple of years ago. So what happens on social can have a very material impact on things like share prices.
Yeah. I want to take us to the future. I've been asking for a while, when you think actually there was so much progression, if you think 4 years ago where we were to now, but actually platform-wise, not so much. So that would be an easy question to ask you guys, like, where's it at? And you go, Reddit's really interesting, and don't forget about Snap, and how do we be authentic? I'm not asking you that question. I want to ask you about the 11 and 12-year-olds now that will soon be that generation that we want to target, that we'll be obsessed with, who actually aren't on phones. Like, it's a real thing.
Good.
Okay, but what are you going to do about it when you're posting your 60-second slot? So what does the future look like? Let's think about it.
Yeah, it's on my mind all the time. I myself am not on social media. I've had enough. But yay. No, the New York statewide ban of social media, amazing, in schools, love it. Australia banned social media 16 and under, love it. I think that if you, like, we didn't grow up with social media, right? So we're all addicted to it, right? So it's, I don't know, it's
Apart
a give
from
and
you,
take.
you've gone cold turkey.
Yeah, I've gone cold turkey. I'm done. I'll probably be back.
Are you though? Let's discuss that.
I think the point is though that like it's still going to be a very effective channel. We know that reach does not equal impact. You can get amazing reach on social, but let's not drop creativity in the way of that. Let's not just be on it to be on it. And I think that young people will grow up and they'll choose to be on social, and most of them will be, and everything will be okay.
Interesting. Right, Shay, I'm throwing that, or Dave, go.
I think there's something deeper that we need to uncover
Go for
with
it.
Dana. The reality with social, even younger generations, is the content's everywhere now. It's across all screens. With live streaming moving into every screen. So whether they have it on a mobile device in school or not, they're going to get access to it. That is the model. That's how these companies are going to stay relevant and still drive scale. And I think that really is the future, is live stream, shoppability. It's almost the modern day QVC of influencers in real time selling products that people are watching on this screen, on your mobile, desktop, everything. And we'll talk later. Are you okay?
I'm so good.
So there's sort of two things that are top of mind for me. First of all, I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I absolutely do not want her to be on social media until she's at least 16.
That's interesting.
So it's a little tough to look at yourself in the mirror when you've spent almost 20 years in social and be like, oof, am I part of the problem? And probably I am. And I don't want my daughter to experience a lot of what's been created until, the frontal cortex is fully developed and we can take it from there. But I also think a lot about, kind of fearfully, like, put on my tinfoil hat and go into my bunker. The world of AI and social scares me. And I think we're seeing now, like Reddit, the power that Reddit has in search results now that are AI powered, and how that is being considered as a source of truth when it's just like being mined from Reddit comments and communities. So yeah, community is important, and there's probably a world where brands need to be digging more into, I know everyone's been talking about Reddit for a while, but to kind of take more ownership of those conversations in a way that doesn't piss everybody off on Reddit. But the AI element of it mixed with sort of where those conversations are happening is not something that I think we're totally on top of.
I think going full circle, and I started with that, is loyalty dead? Is brand building dead? We've talked a lot about products. We've talked about a lot about getting products and consumerism and buying things. How do we get it back to brands? Because I know, like, everyone in this room, when you said SharkNinja, held their hand up and they would know a product. But it's very product. So it's like that whole future piece, like we want to build those relationships. Like, how do we feel about what that looks like for brand building? Like, what do we do? Because brands bring us joy. So how are we going to, as you said, you're not on social media. You're not. So how do we have those authentic conversations? How do we do what we do so brilliantly and have done for like decades, solving problems creatively, creating content? I think that's where I want to get to. It's like, what, and I do have a bit of an answer, so I'm leading you there. But it's like, yeah, where are we at with that? Because I feel like we can just get to like product. It's a bit like AI when it runs out of data and you run out of product innovation. What do we do? Or is that even a worry?
I think for me, I mean, yeah, not on social, but still, if one of my favorite people, one of my favorite creators is endorsing something, whether I hear about it in a podcast or I hear about it from a friend, like that's the most important thing to me, if I hear it from somebody that I trust. So I think the further investment in people, which gets me back to like the human side of it all, right? Making sure that that's still the biggest element to drive that loyalty and build that trust.
I know you say product, but if you build amazing products that solve a consumer need and give them purpose, and it adds value to your life, that does inherently build a brand, right? as a consumer, you go home and, well, in my perspective, you go home and you say, this thing is actually saving me time, whatever it is. And I love this brand for this reason. The technology is advanced, it speeds up whatever, right? So to me, that still is building the brand. And to your point, when you're hearing it from influencers who are talking about it more authentically versus saying, buy this now, and you can tell that it was just a forced partnership that they're trying to sling a product, you can sense that. I mean, as marketers, as consumers, and so the more that they're talking about it and you have that trusted opinion, I think it actually drives your brand more than a 360 big, bold campaign with skywriting and cinema and all of that other stuff. While that works in a lot of regards,
It's a lot of fun for you to do.
I don't think it's the only thing that can build your brand. I think it's having great product.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have anything amazing to
Well, I was
add.
actually going to say, because Dana hit the nail on the head, I'm going to do a shameless plug because, as I said, it's actually, I mean, how often do we have paper that is bound and it's beautiful? So Dave's going to model it. So what we've actually done is we have come up with a solution that demonstrates, actually, if you go back to the dawn of time, human behavior, we gathered around fires. We gathered around fires, we told stories without products, or even maybe products. Maybe it was like, look at my skin shawl, or look at this thing, the flint for the fire. But we told stories and we gathered in town halls. So we've worked out, if you follow those principles and you foster those genuine relationships and you build communities and you know where your valuable communities are, because we'll have different ideas on that, then you can really prove, you can show up, you have a role in society, you add value, and then we can actually show that it grows your brand and goes back to your key business metrics. So Dave, if you'd like to showcase our index, I'm going to put you on spot, I'll showcase the book. So please do delve in. What we've done that's very controversial is we've actually built an index of the most valuable brands, which we're building to and adding to. So we shared it last year and everyone was like, oh my God, they've ranked brands, are they crazy? This is a living, sort of growing beast. And it's really around, if you're interested, come and chat to us, because we want to build a repository of really interesting, valuable data, which we're going to share with the industry. That's not how we're going to make our money. We're going to make our money on showing you how to really build those bonds and make them last. So it's take a look, have a think about also, just because humanity is better when we show up and have better conversations and we actually move away from just product, we actually show up in people's lives, life will be better. And it's, as you said, Dana, it's a bit shit at the moment. It's like we need to we want to have real human connection. So take a look, keep on having conversations. When we're in that grind of trying to get stuff out there, actually go, why do we exist? It's the Simon Sinek why. Show up, build a community, because actually it will give you longevity and it's really great fun, but very valuable. So I just want to say thank you so much. I said I wasn't going to sell anything, but I thought, hey, why not? Thank you so much for showing up, having a conversation. I'm going to go and SharkNinja my hair later. I mean, that's going to become like a verb now. Yeah. And maybe air fry something. Yeah. No, that would be bad. I'm going to hand back to Jeremy. He's ready. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. Come on, that was a great session. Well done. Thank you. Massive, massive thanks to Lynn, Dana, Cher, and Dave. Yes, come on. Okay.